Hello.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm well. How are you?
I'm good. I feel like we should plan in advance who's going to say hello first because we're at this moment where we're not sure who's
We're
going to
probably
say hello first. Like this little this
That's
strange little
okay.
pause just
Yeah,
so the
this is
listeners know.
this this is more fun.
Absolutely, yeah,
Yeah,
definitely.
I
So,
like your flip today. Your hair.
well, I also have I have a fringe.
Oh, I
Obviously,
see
if you're
that.
listening, you won't see my fringe.
Oh,
I haven't had a fringe
beautiful.
for oh gosh,
Very
a long
nice.
time, probably a decade or so. I haven't had a fringe, but yeah, I fancied it. I did it very spontaneous. I didn't go to the hairdresser to get a fringe. I just spontaneously got a fringe. So yeah.
Snip, snip yourself.
No, God, no. I went to the hairdresser.
Oh,
No,
oh,
I'm
you
not.
did go to the hairdresser. I thought
Yeah,
you
yeah,
said I
yeah. But
didn't
I
even go
didn't
to the
go.
hairdresser.
Yeah, I didn't go with the intention of getting a fringe.
Ah,
Um, I just went to get like a lot of the length cut off. But um, then I went. Oh, do you know what? Let's do the fringe thing. So here we are with the fringe. So there you go.
awesome. You
Anyway,
rock
I
it.
don't know if everybody wants to listen to stories about my haircut. The next 20 minutes or so. So shall I chuck a word in your direction?
Please do.
And I cannot believe we haven't done this word actually. When I looked through the list, I was like, how have we not done this word? So the word is judgment.
Mm. Hmm. Ooh, and do we ever have a lot of it at times? Yeah, right? Mm. Yeah, I see. Let me just see what wants to come out first, because there's a little barrage happening. What I see about judgment is, well, first of all, practically, as humans, we are in this contrastive world. It's how we make sense of things, it's how we orient ourselves. You know, this is hot, this is cold, this is tall, this is short, this is 10 o'clock, this is 6 o'clock. And, and then there's the whole what time zone, there's all of this. And when we can just see things as they are, and as energetic beings and beings that are lived by this, infinite intelligence, there's always a preference coming in for one or the other, or a little more this way or a little more that way. And that's cool. Like, that's cool. It's like that's how we get to experience things in life that we enjoy. And when we kind of get caught, instead of, okay, well, I prefer this, and looking in that direction, if we kind of make a judgment about something that is, whether it's, an example of being cut off in traffic, you know, the preference is to not be cut off in traffic. And if we kind of get hung up on what happened, that we got cut off, well, who suffers? Only us. It's only the person who's making the judgment that suffers. We create this tension inside of us. And we can, if we allow it to get hold and gain momentum, can we ever get wound up? And then we'll like bring someone else in. Hey, this guy cut me off. And don't you hate when people cut me off? And little, we can go on and, you know, get someone to join in the judgment, and it just gets bigger and it gets like confirmed. Yeah, you're right. I hate when that happens. But when we really sit back and notice what we're experiencing in our body when we are judging, well, there's a moment where we can decide, ooh, okay, tense. If you notice, your body will be contracted and tense. And there's a moment of choice. Wow, okay, I'll let that go. We're all good. No one was hurt, got cut off. It's going to make me a better driver, maybe because I'm going to be sure that I'm going to do all I can to not do that. And maybe I'll be a little more defensive and just know that for whatever reason, people miss things. There's blind spots in cars. Maybe someone was a little bit distracted. It's like, I can also drive more defensively. Just watch out for this. Just be careful. Yeah. 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 Well, let's start there. And yeah.
Yeah, I love what you said at the beginning, that it's human, I think, is the first thing that I'd love everybody to know, that it's really easy when you start to understand how the part that thought is playing in your experience and how you feel in your body, and to get really into, well, I need to stop judging them because it's not good for me or it doesn't feel nice. But it's also really human to judge. I don't think we could present it as a job to do to get rid of judgmental thinking. I just think that would be narrow, impossible, I would say. And I think maybe it starts with, it was a necessity to stay alive, wasn't it? To judge. If I see a rustling bush, I've got to make a very quick judgment about, is that my dinner or am I its dinner? I can kind of work out very quickly if I'm getting my spear out to kill a little rabbit that I can have for my tea, or whether there's a flipping saber-toothed tiger behind the bush. I've got to very quickly. And we tend, of course, in order to stay alive, to default to it's a saber-toothed tiger. And then good news if it's a rabbit. But I'm going to go in there as if it's a saber-toothed tiger. And so there's quite a lot of energy around our safety, but of course how that's been translated into a world where we are not in danger as a rule, despite the strangeness going on in the world much of the time, especially in my country at the moment. Generally we're not in danger, we have no predators. So how that's been kind of translated, I think, into the modern world is that it's about what's going to harm the self, what's going to harm me, what's wrong in the world when I look at it. And I can really relate to ranting at other drivers and getting wound up. I always say my children learned to swear in the back of the car. So I could drive around Edmund and Jeff and all the other drivers. And that is definitely where they learned to swear, because I was with everybody else on the road. But part of the reason I chose to speak about this today was that I don't get as ranty as I used to by any stretch. But yesterday I went to a networking event online, and we got sent off into little groups in breakout rooms, and there were 4 of us in there, and 2 of us. So we all did our little introduction to ourselves, like a little pitch kind of thing, 60 seconds or whatever. And I said it when I presented mine, I said, I'm still playing around with this and still, working out kind of my articulation of it and stuff. But actually I thought it kind of sounded all right. But then this one woman, after we'd all done our introduction, she picked on me and one other woman, but left the other woman out and said, oh, there's a 5-day challenge coming up that's all about how to articulate your, how to present your business and how to articulate in 60 seconds. I was just thinking, first of all, I've got this thing about unsolicited advice. What the heck do you think? And also I just thought, if you're going to share that, you share it with everybody. You don't pick out 2 people and basically say, you 2 have got it wrong and the other woman's got it right. That's not okay for me. Yeah. So after the call, my daughter and her boyfriend were sitting in the lounge, and I went in the lounge and went, all right, you're not going to believe what this flipping woman just did on this call. But like you said, very, very quickly now, there's a noticing that my body's gone. And I was laughing. It didn't have the same heaviness. In the past, it would have been, she is an absolute, you-know-what, how very dare she? But it did have a lighter feeling to it. These days, it just feels like I'm just... and I was making the kids laugh. They were laughing at me with my ranting. So, but it didn't sustain. Now I can talk about it and just think, you know what? That's just what she thought was the thing to say in the moment, and whatever. It's not really good. don't affect me. She's gone off to live her life and I'm off living my life kind of thing. And I'm not going to be going to the 5-day challenge that she proposed. There you go. But yeah, it's that thing about, I don't know, like from a non-duality perspective, it's the separation, isn't it? It's the seeing, thinking they're different to me. And that's where we spoke about this in the compassion episode, I think. I like this question. Yeah, you say, I say, what's my equivalent? Clare Diamond recommends that. And you say, where am I like this? And of course, I've absolutely given unsolicited advice before. You could just spend the rest of the time here just listening all the unsolicited advice I've given in my life. So I've definitely done that. So it's that I think that helps with judgment, because my judgment is usually it's of other people. It's always of other people, isn't it? But I guess the other thing that maybe is worth exploring in this is our fear of other people's judgment and what that does in terms of our ability to kind of follow what feels authentic to us, what we really want to do with our lives, what we want to put, especially for business owners, any business owners listening, what we want to put out into the world. So yeah, maybe that's the other. Yeah, we got any thoughts about that kind of other side of judgment when it's towards us? Well, we believe it's coming towards us, don't we?
Yeah. I have something very current about that. Actually, current, because it all just kind of, I made it happen over the last, but it's been coming for 2 years. So 2 years ago, where I live in Okotoks, Alberta, there is close to me, and I have a dog, Sergio. We have, we've lived here for 5 years now. So I used to take him running. Now our walks are very, very short because he's much older. But we would go by this stand. So it's like all of these pathways. There's 1, 2, 3, 4 pathways that kind of converge, and then there's a circle. And in the middle of it, there is a bulletin board. And this morning I discovered it has 5 sides to it. I thought it was 4. I thought it was square. So a couple of years ago, I had this inspiration come up to go put a poster on it, talking about what I do, or, just making myself seen, known. And this is 2 years ago. I've had it come up a number of times. Last year, I actually took some pictures of me and Serge in that area. I couldn't find him, but I have lots of pictures of Serge and I with something that I typically wear. I have this red running jacket. It's actually Rob's. So it's big, it's large, it's long. And I wear this beanie toque. So, and it's like, I wear it pretty much every day, except for when it's 30 above. But that is like my walking kind of outfit, running outfit. So I took these pictures, and it wasn't until a couple of weeks ago that, and I know I've shared this lately, my latest sort of bigger insight of seeing at another level, at a higher level, I guess, of how my thinking about something and the thing itself are totally separate. My thinking has nothing to do with the thing at all. So I finally took action. I created a poster. It took me 2 weeks because I had a lot of thinking about it. And the thinking wasn't about so much what I put in. It was imagining who was going to see it along the pathway. Maybe it's a neighbor in my circle. Maybe like we're close. Maybe it's someone I know in the past of, and yes, what are they going to think? And it's like, it doesn't matter. It totally doesn't matter. I'm worried about this judgment. I'm concerned about this, and it actually has no effect on me. Because of course, you and I know, and we forget all the time, that we can only feel our own thinking. We can't actually feel someone else's judgment. They may be doing their judging, and they're experiencing that, the feeling of judging. And the only thing I would experience is my imagination of them judging me. It's still an inside out. Even if someone is judging me, even if someone is, oh, did you see Michaela's poster in the like, oh, did that picture, I don't know, did you like, she made a QR code. That was cool. It's like, who carries their phone? I carry my phone because I'm a picture taker. I like to carry my phone so I can take pictures. And you know, all of these thoughts that just kept, and all it did was tighten me up, make me contracted, make me hesitate, make me waste a lot of time and energy thinking about how someone might judge me. And what helped was clearing the path. And it's just like, what do I want? And what is my purpose with this? I can help someone. If they are, if this resonates and they want to reach out, then I could help them. And that was it. It was just like, why am I doing this? Why am I doing this? And it's kind of, it was sort of a clearer for me, as well as my thinking and the thought and the thing have nothing to do with each other. But it's like, it's one of the things that really I find helpful is to remember, what do I want? Because if what I'm feeling is creating this angst inside of me, well, that's not what I want. What do I want instead here? I just want to put up a poster and maybe someone who needs a hand that I could help will see it and reach out. Maybe that's what I want. I want to put that possibility out there. And it was like, okay, so I posted him this morning. I posted him this morning.
Yay!
Yeah. So much concern and fear of judgment. Yeah. Yeah. Crazy.
It is. It's another level of crazy, isn't it? I remember when I was really poorly with burnout, my mum used to take me to this yoga class during the day, because obviously I go to yoga class during the day because I wasn't at work. And this yoga class, therefore, because it was during the day, was mostly elderly ladies like my mum and pregnant ladies. And I found myself like comparing myself and being concerned about not being in all the right positions in the right way and all this kind of stuff. Just, oh my goodness, exhausting. When I was in a class as a fit, healthy woman in the mid-40s with a load of people who were, you know, physically probably less competent than me because they were either very heavily pregnant or, you know, elderly. It was just ridiculous when I think about how much time I spent thinking about, you know, I should be able to do this better, and they can see I can't do it very well, or, oh, you know, and not enjoyable in a yoga class when you're trying to kind of enjoy those moments of presence. And yeah, but I just remember my mind being just absolutely stirred up with it, you know, watching what everybody else was doing and seeing how they were doing, judging them, thinking they were judging me. Just what an entangled, horrible mess, really, in my head.
Right.
Sapped the enjoyment out of that process of going to a yoga class, which should be a nice thing to do.
Yeah. Wow. Okay. You said something. I just want to mention that too. It's like sometimes we even use judgment to make ourselves feel better. Oh, well, I'm doing it better than that person, at least, or my poster's nicer than that next person's poster.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
I think probably barely a moment goes by when we're not in some kind of judgmental thinking in some way, shape, or form. But I think what we're saying here is not, right, well, it's trying to do some kind of exercise or affirmation to get rid of your judgmental thinking. It's just connecting to the body, you know, feeling the tension or the tightening like you described, and realizing what that's telling us is that we're very involved with a thought that isn't true, really. It's a thought believed that just is nonsense. And that our body very cleverly just keeps telling us that. Just keeps telling us. Just to let you know, body's tense. That's because there's a thought believed here that isn't true. And that's all those feelings of tension and anxiety and stress, and all of that in the body is only, that's all it's ever doing. It's just saying, this isn't a helpful thought that you've got. And then there's nothing to do, really. Just as you realize that more and more, I wouldn't have said there's choice, because there is nobody to do any choosing, but there is an illusion that, well, it just makes sense as the perspective changes. It just makes sense to go, ugh, I can't be bothered to think about that. You just move away from it. It's almost like you suddenly realize it's burning you. So you move away. But until you have the awareness, you don't know that's what's burning you. There's a confusion about it, thinking, well, it's the person who's doing that thing I don't like, who I'm judging, or they really are thinking about me and judging me, or whatever, that, and then suddenly you see it, and when you see it, you just don't do it anymore.
Yeah.
Without a whole heap of work involved.
Yeah. And it happens naturally inside of us.
All the time.
This preference for something different. So it's like, yeah, it's moving away from that, and it's moving towards the preference, which feels good. It feels better. It's nicer. And it may not be fully formed of any particular thing, but it's just like oh yeah, it's a turning away kind of thing. And immediately you'll feel the release, the drop of tension, and begin to dissipate and dissolve. Yeah, it's like magic.
Yeah, and lightness and humor, I find, often come for me, because I'm generally a bit silly. I find that then humor comes, like when I was ranting about that woman yesterday. Then I just ended up laughing when I kind of looked at, where am I like this, or when do I do this, or what's my equivalent? I'm like, all the time, literally. Poor Bruce. Barely a day goes by without Bruce receiving someone's solicited advice from me. Bless him. So then you just laugh at it, don't you? Because it's just silly, really. And the light, I think for me, when things seem serious, I know that I'm looking in an unhelpful direction. Things feel lighter and silly, and kind of. Yeah, I think I kept the feeling I'm going the right way.
That's a really good distinction of that feeling of lighter. It's very, very good. Yeah. Good word, Claire.
Oh, that was lovely. Yeah, I can't believe we haven't done it before. Like one of my I would say that was one of the things that really used to, my ranting about other people's behaviour was, that was like a part-time job. Well, probably a full-time job for me in the past. I can't believe we haven't talked about that before, but it's a good one. So thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah. See you again.
The listeners.
Yeah.
See you soon.
Yeah. See you again. Ciao.
Bye.